I don't know, I think now I can't get into Star Wars, and it's not even because of, like, the bad media that has come since then, but more just, like, I find the world building to be kind of bad. I don't really vibe with, like, fantasy world building when it's, like, light versus dark. It just seems too simple. But I guess it's, like, really useful and good if you want to lay down a very simple storyline, and people try to, like, complicate it. But I feel like that's part of the issue when people try to make Star Wars deep. Is that they're, like, working to expand this premise that's, like, kind of wonky from the initial start. Like, people describe Star Wars as, like, I don't know, do they actually do it? I feel like people used to do this. They used to describe it as, like, East Asian philosophy sci-fi. Maybe not anymore. Now it's just, like, silly Disney stuff and, like, wonky graphics and whatnot. But I wish that really existed, you know? Like a real, actual sci-fi Buddhism. I feel like this is why my Buddhism knowledge is going to be, like, useful one day. When I make my own Star Wars. And people can be like, wow, this feels like it came from a real place. Jedi Masters are inspired by samurai, but I don't know. They are, but how they operate to me feels more like a Catholic crusader, do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, they don't really operate as, like... I think a better, real, quote-unquote, influence would have been, like, the warrior monks in Japan, you know? That would have been actually cool. Can I show a warrior monk from Japan real quick? Yeah, Sohei. Imagine if Star Wars looked like this. It even looks like a lightsaber in this photo. With this Naginata spear. This looks so damn cool. Yeah, Bushido is nothing like this, yeah. Warrior monks. It's a really weird kind of thing if you think about it, like... Japanese Buddhist monasteries in, like, the year 1100 were really invested in, like, warrior monks. It's like, huh... Is that compatible with Buddhism? Apparently, I mean, you can kind of justify it in any way you want, right? So, hey, 12th century. Now, the aesthetics were fire, though. This could be, like, my next VTuber outfit, I don't know. There's very few sage characters in it now. Yeah. Why are we getting more warrior monks in games? I guess, I don't know. Hard to say. I guess people just don't know anything about it is the thing. To me, Jedi feel more like Catholic crusaders, with, like, East Asian aesthetics. And that's kind of, like, what I want to avoid if I ever were to make like, a sci-fi thing. Like, I would want to really, really steer into the direction of, like, keeping it within that realm of that philosophy, and what that would actually entail. Maybe even going as far as, like, using, like, a real Buddhist warrior monk justifications of, like, what the hell were they doing? What made them become monks who fought? And can you adapt they? Yeah, too many contradictory rules, yeah. And it's sort of annoying when it's stuff like, I don't know, the Jedi are not allowed to love, and stuff like that. But that's not really how those philosophies work, you know? No attachments doesn't work quite like that. But I do think the warrior monks were sort of, like, abolished because they became too powerful. And that would also be really interesting as a kind of, like, thing to expand on. Not only, like, making them completely, like, justified in what they do, but actually showing, like, exposing, like, the corruption in all of that also. You can't really have that with Jedi. You can't have, like, corrupt Jedi storyline, which sucks. What the hell happened to the real quote-unquote Jedi? See, I have thoughts. I don't really have any thoughts on Star Trek. I could never get invested in Star Trek. It was, like, too scientific for me. Like, exploring different kind of realms, but it's sort of like every realm is kind of the same, and every alien is kind of the same. What if we went to a planet of blue guys and we're fighting red guys? Oh my god. We have to make them at peace. Sure. We made them be at peace. Cool. I think Star Wars would be better if it took notes from Jet Force Gemini and half the movies were from a dog's point of view. I mean, that would be kind of cool. Star Wars, but from the point of view of, like, Darth Vader's dog. That would be awesome. Star Dog.